Okay, so as I mentioned, last week, you are supposed to use computer or laptop, all right, for today's class. Okay, so let's start our Colab with Surah Al-Fatihah. Wait, I'm supposed to send this to you. Please stop recording, Nur Farisha. Stop recording, Okay, I sent the materials in the chat. Please refer to that. Okay, download the file. Okay, so you can download the file. Okay, anyone's having problem with the file? Ada sesiapa tak boleh download file? Let me know. Semua boleh Semua boleh download file? Boleh Siapa yang tak boleh? Okay, siapa tak boleh tu maybe tak join lagi kot Teams group. Okay, mostly semua yang dah join Teams group should able to download this file lah. Okay, so we are going to do some practical work, okay, using Python through Google Colab. Okay, so before this, I did mention that I try to use Jupyter Notebook kan to install. But I guess it's not the best way lah. I think Google Colab is much easier for students. You can access that online. Alright, so make sure all of you are in front of your computer or laptop because I might request you to share your screen. Okay, so make sure you do the work. Alright. Okay, so for today, we are going to try like a starting step lah, how to begin with this Google Colab, how to do the Python coding and so on. Okay, so everything are here, but for today we'll do up to this one lah. Okay, this three only. Alright, so the remaining we are going to continue next week. Alright. Okay, so now we will start here. Okay, now we will begin with accessing Google Colab. You need to create your account and you can use your personal email, right? Okay, and then go to this link collab.research.google.com. Alright, okay, so then I will paste it here. Okay, so after that you go back lah. Wait, this. Okay, so paste it here. Okay, yeah, paste the link just now, collab.research.google.com. Okay, so then you will see this screen, right? Okay, so then create this new notebook. That's button, is a blue button here. You can click here. Basically your view might be a bit different than mine because I have some files that I had created lah with my previous work. Okay, in this Google Colab. Okay, so as starting, you can click on this new notebook and you can give name. Okay, so for today, you will create new workbook. Alright. Okay, so you can create, for example, any name, file 1 or notebook 1, simple one, so that you can record back. Okay, and any file you can create. The way how you can create or giving name is like when you do for Java programming class. Okay, so same thing. Cannot start with numbers and so on. No space. You can use underscore. So there will be similar rules here, right? Okay. So once done, you have this. Okay, so I give few minutes to try until they start. Okay. I can create if I want ke whatever it is lah, alright. So I have some work I've done. Okay, so I'm creating name, for example, using notebook 1. Okay, so by default, in this Google Colab, since we are working with Python, so the format of the file will be .ipynb. Okay, so refer to Python notebook. Okay, ipynb. Okay, I'm checking your work. Haikal, you are in which states? Haikal?
Dah boleh, madam.
Okay, Amira, Nur Amira, Nabila,
Boleh, madam.
Nur Anis,
Boleh, madam.
Nur Balkis.
Boleh, madam.
Okay, saya check dulu nanti saya akan ask you to share screen. Nur Farisha Alia.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Farisha Fatia.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Fatiha binti Abdul.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Fatiha Nuha.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Fatin Dayana.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Idrina.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Imanina.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Irdina.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Ishami.
Boleh, madam.
Okay, Nur Khadijah.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Najwa.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Sabrina.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Shakira.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Shazwani.
Boleh, madam.
Okay, Nur Fahani.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Farisha Kamilia.
Boleh, madam.
Nuriliana Batrisha.
Boleh, madam.
Nurin Adilia.
Boleh, madam.
Nurin Batrisha.
Boleh, madam.
Nurin Maisara.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Laila Maisara.
Boleh, madam.
Nurul Ashfariza.
Boleh, madam.
Nurul Iman Inshira.
Boleh, madam.
Nur Najmina Nadira.
Boleh, madam.
Putri Nur Maisara.
Boleh, madam.
Christina Balkis.
Boleh, madam.
Rabiatul Adawiyah.
Boleh, madam.
Roslina.
Boleh, madam.
And if Rabiatul Adawiyah tadi ada kan?
Ada, madam.
Roslina.
Ada, madam.
Rubenesh, you dah siap?
Boleh, madam?
Until the stage.
Yes, madam.
Until the stage,
Yep.
Lepas saya baru masuk tadi. Cepatkan buat. Ruzana Aisyah.
Boleh, madam.
Siti Aisyah.
Boleh, madam.
Siti Miza Izzati. Siti Nur Solehah.
Boleh, madam.
Sulhazati.
Boleh, madam.
Wan Ahmad Khalaf.
Boleh dah.
Boleh. Sekejap. Checking that. Ada saya yang tak masuk. Okay, so kita akan sambung We're going to proceed. Okay, so okay, so once done, basically you dah siap section 1.2 Okay, now once you have that, okay, so the file that you are creating lah, let's say just now tadi you create file 1.ipynb, right? Notebook 1.ipynb. So everything will be saved to your Google Drive. Okay. So once done, you can check the files that you have created, save to your Google Drive. Alright. Okay, now these are some button or tab that you should be familiar with. Okay, for example, menu bar, code cell, text cell, the run button, and the cell output. All right. Okay, so where is the part? Okay, so this menu bar, file, edit, view. Okay. So then we have these kinds of code cell. Okay. So if you want to add code cell, so this is the cell or at the part that where you do the coding. Okay, Python coding. Okay, so there are two types of cell. One is code cell and the other one text cell. So this one code, as you can see, something that can run here lah. Okay, so if you want to add text cell, so just add here text. So this text cell means that the compiler understood that this is not a coding. Alright, so this text cell usually you can put like a section title, anything lah. Okay, for example, you want to separate lah, maybe section like you want to data analysis, right? Okay. So at this part, you can add coding for data analysis. All right. And then you want to add another one. For example, to do visualization. Okay, so you can put here to visualization. Okay, to visualize. All right. And then you can put down the coding for visualization. Okay, so there is the purpose lah to differentiate or utilize this text. All right. Okay, and then in this code cell, you can see there's a play symbol and play button. So this is the run button. All right. Okay, run button. So any code, once you've done, do the coding. So you can run this on this left side to run the codes. All right. Okay, so inside here, for those who are having Google account, so it's actually you have some Gemini to work with this Python code. Let's say you have something error in the coding, so you can copy, paste, or can screenshot the part that you're having coding and the error. So paste it here, then you can ask this Gemini to check or do correction for your coding. Okay, so that is for example. So we utilize this AI lah, okay, to improve your understanding. Right? Okay. Next is okay, so the cell outputs actually the cell output something like, let's say I've run this code, for example, this is the coding, the one I highlighted. So this is actually the cell output. This is the feedback where the compiler provide the outputs. Okay, this one, so this is the cell output. Okay, next is okay, the runtime panel and table of contents. You can see on the left sidebar. And then now we are going to start running on your first file. All right. Okay. So can you copy this code? See, I give to you the PDF file again. So you just copy this code from imports sys until print everything is working. Okay. Okay, copy and paste it to your code cell just now. All right. And then you can run that. This run. Okay, run. Okay, once you run, you can see here the output in this output cell. It shows the version of the Python that you use now, the pandas version and the numpy version. Okay, so do that now. Okay. Okay, so done all of you are until the start. Semua okay? All of you okay until the start?
Okay, madam.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Okay, so we have import sys. So this sys is actually built-in Python module. Okay, so in this Google Colab. So this sys actually can let you when you do the program through this Python. So this sys allow user to access system-specific parameters and functions. Okay. So your program can see and control how your Python program is running. Okay, so that is purpose of import this sys. So basically this library files. Okay, next we have pandas. Okay, so import pandas means we have pandas. So P means Python. Okay, Python. So that means data analysis because you are doing statistic and data analytic, right? So data analytic involve data analysis. Okay, so this is popular library files. Okay, when you work with data analysis library, so this pandas must be used in your program. Okay, for example, your data involve array, data frame. So mainly data frame, you need this library file of pandas. Okay, so in this pandas, the data set would be in the format of CSV, Excel, JSON file, or maybe SQL. Okay, so these are 4 types, but usually we will consider CSV or Excel file for the syllabus. All right. Okay, so for these pandas, you can do data cleaning, checking any missing values in your data set or any duplication. All right. Okay, so that is for example. Right. Okay, so for NumPy, num means numerical, py means Python. Okay. So this library file required if something involved with numerical engine in this Google Colab, something you want to compute the standard deviations or maybe variance, right? Okay, so that's numerical calculation. To do that calculation, you have to import this NumPy. All right. Okay, by the way, is it my voice clear? Because it's heavy rain here dekat my house. Is it clear? Ke lagging ke? My voice is lagging ke?
It's slightly lagging,
Might be
but
lagging
it's clear.
Okay, let's see Wait Check. Okay, you remain for a while I change my connection for a while Remain dulu Is it now okay? Is it my voice clear or not?
Yeah, madam.
Okay, so proceed Okay, so that is the explanations for the sys, sys, pandas and numpy. Okay, so there is a part that mentioned here as pd. So this is to access later on when you want to do some functions under this library file. So we have to do some kinds of object. Okay, so we create like this panda as pd, numpy as np. Okay.
Right, so for example, let's say you want to use function under data frame. Okay, so that one you do some object dot data frame. So yeah, in front that you have to use pd. Okay, and then you give the name what is the assigned variable for that part lah. Okay. Okay, so this is the feedback version of the Python, the version of the pandas, and also the NumPy. Alright. Okay, next one. Okay, after this, I will send you a CSV file in the chat. So we are going to use that file to try this step. Okay, the file name is descriptive underscore statistic underscore dataset. Alright. This just to try how to load that. Okay, so download this dataset, and for the next step, yeah. Wait, tengah lagging. Okay. Okay. We are going to try these codes to upload the file, but this is the starting step. Alright. So method 1, this is a way how you can add the comment using hashtag or the this kind of symbol, hashtag symbol. This is for comment, to add the comment. So compiler will understand anything started with this hashtag symbol is a comment or remark, not a Python codes. Okay, so you have to add this from google.colab import files uploaded equal to files.upload. Okay, so once you run this, you can see there's a dialog box appear, and you can choose your file to upload. Alright. Okay. Something like this one lah, because actually this part I already try. So you can click this one, choose file. Once you run kan, click on this part, and then upload that file, descriptive underscore and these things, statistic dataset. Okay, and then the file will be saved to your Google Drive automatically. Alright. Okay, now that is upload process. Now we want to import the files from your drive to the working space. Okay, so then you run these things. Okay, df equal to pd.read csv, and this yellow highlighted you have to replace with your file name. Okay, what is your file name? The one that longer one tadi lah. Okay, the file name is descriptive statistic dataset. Okay, with underscore. So replace the highlighted one with your file name. So in this manual, I just put general lah, because later on when you have different data set that you want to upload here, so you can just replace lah this one, the yellow highlighted, with the file that you want to upload. Alright. Okay, so here we have just now we import pandas, right? So to read the CSV file, under function read underscore CSV. Okay, read underscore CSV. Okay, you couldn't see this underscore lah, tapi there is an underscore here, not space, yeah. Alright, so this read underscore CSV is under pandas library. Okay, one of the function. So in front here will be pd. So this is object lah for your pandas, pd dot something. Okay, followed by the function. Okay, so let's say we put down here as df in short form. You can replace df with other name. Okay. Alright, so if you just use df, mainly in data analytic, this is commonly used lah, df. Can change with other things lah. Alright, so then we want to display the row and column for your data set using df.shape. Okay, using df.shape. So why df? So just now we create df, right? Okay, so you create same name lah. Alright. If you change df to other name, so change this accordingly. Alright. So this is just a name. Can change other parts. Okay, so if you want to display the first 5 rows in your data, so using .head, so this is the function. Okay, so everything here belongs to pandas. Okay, so that's why pandas SPD should be imported before you want to use this function. Okay. Alright. Okay, so you can run that and see what is the output. Okay, now we have some shortcut key on your keyboard. For example, let's say you want to run current cell and move to next cell, so can use shortcut using shift and enter. Okay, to run and stay in the same cell, use control with enter. Run current cell and insert new cell using alternate enter. Okay, instead using cursor to click here and so on, so you can use this shortcut key lah, right? Insert new code cell below current cell, so using control M and B. For above current cell, using control M and A. To delete current cell, using control M and D. Okay, control M and D. And then view all keyboard shortcut using control M H, and save the notebook using control S. Alright. Okay, so let's see. I have this kinds of example now. Okay, so okay, let's say lah, I want to delete this one. So you can, instead using these kinds of delete cell, kan? So you can just put here your cursor in this cell. So I want to delete this cell. So just put here control M, delete D. Wait, control M D. So now it's deleted lah. Okay, so that is the meaning of shortcut key. Alright. Okay, so okay, once you run that, so this is the syntax, alright. So this is the output once you run that. Okay, you can see here shape. So you have 30 rows. Okay, 4 columns without this 0 So this column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, so but here this one, this output is for the head, because this head only display first 5 rows. Okay, so we have row 1, row 2, row 3, 4, row 5. So that is your header of your data set. Okay, what is the meaning of 0? 0 is just index for the number lah, because your data will be looks like a table. So in Python, the step is similar, or the rule similar to array in Java programming. Okay, in Java, so your index will start with 0. So this is just a label for the index. Alright. Okay, any questions so far? Any question? Alright, so in this file section, loading data into Google Colab, I want you to try method 1 and method 4. Method 2 means that you load your data into your Google Drive, and then you do the coding in Python, right? Method 3 is you want to load your data from online file. Okay, so you have the URL link. Okay, so that's method 3. So method 4 is you coded the raw data manually. Okay, so the things that we have just now is for method 1. Alright, so for method 4, this is a new method. So the data in this method 4 is not the same with method 1. Okay, so in this method 4, you have to enter the data manually. So include the Python codes how to provide the data manually. Alright, okay, so basically you can just copy here. Your data must have attributes. Okay, so you just create any name. So this is just a name. You can change to much simpler name. Alright. Okay, so let's say you have 2 attributes. in your data. Two attribute means that you have two variables, no matter whether it is qualitative or quantitative data. Okay, so the header. Okay, header means like okay, this header. Okay, this is your data for method 1. So these things, student ID, gender, study hour, test score is the header, right? Or we header of this file. Just now we got some output here. This header, right? First 5 rows. First 5 rows. This is the header. Okay. So this thing, student ID, gender, study hour, and test score is the attributes. Okay. In Python, we call these attributes lah. Mainly for data analytics, we call this part as attributes. Right. Okay, for method 4, let's say you have 2 attributes. Your attribute name is, for the first column is student, second one is marks. So 2 attributes. Okay, so you can create the names using dictionary method for multiple columns. Okay, using equal followed by curly brackets for one set. Okay, so first one is your data for first attribute and the listing elements for your first attributes, and followed by, so we separate using comma, second attribute's name followed by the listing element for second attributes. Okay, alright. So if your data is string, okay, or character, so in Python we call this an object. Okay, so listing element must be with these kinds of single quote. Nampak So this one so this is string, so use single quote symbol. Okay, other than that means if it's a number, so we just list the elements of that number. Okay, without single quotes lah, just separate them with using comma. Okay, so one set for this attribute will be having one pair of square brackets. Okay, one pair of square brackets. Alright, so then we define using data frame, using dot data frame for your data. This one should be tally. So if just now you create this one not data name, you create with different name, so change accordingly. Okay, so then you can display the printdf. Alright. Okay, so once you run that, you can see this is example for the output. Okay, this is very simple numbers, so you can display your data accordingly. Okay, so something like this one. Okay, so when you load the data, so you have to check your data. Okay, always check your data. So these are some common syntax that is required in this Google Colab or Python. Commonly shown just now is shapes. Alright, you can have .d types to check the data types for the attributes, and df.head to check the first 5 rows, or you can check .tail for last 5 rows. Okay, now we're going to proceed for data cleaning. Alright. Okay, so any questions so far? Any question? Okay, I'll call name lah for wanted to see your progress, so please share your screen. Okay, Putri Nor Maisara. Putri Nor Maisara.
Yes, madam.
Okay. Can share your screen what you have done so far?
Baru method 1.
Method 1 tak apa, tunjuk je.
Okay, jap.
Okay,
Wait
alright.
Boleh nampak, madam?
Okay, so mana method 1? Ni baru ni awal-awal tadi ni. Method 1 tak sampai lagi ni. Okay, next saya nak tengok Rubenish.
Yes, madam.
Okay, can share your screen?
Boleh, madam.
Okay.
Boleh nampak, madam? Belum siap, madam. Kena half je.
Tak siap lagi, tak sampai ni. Alright. Next saya nak tengok Wan Ahmad Khalaf.
Sekejap ada.
Okay. Alright, okay, thank you. Next saya nak tengok Sulhazati.
Ya Allah.
Ya Allah, kena panggil nama.
Share screen.
Boleh share screen tak?
Nampak ke?
Tak ada share pun. Tak ada.
Nampak ke? Madam.
Okay, sampai kat step mana? Alright, okay. Okay, thank you. Next saya nak tengok Nur Farisha Alia.
Sekejap madam, saya tukar device sekejap. Saya tukar ke laptop.
Okay. Nur Amirah Nabilah. Share screen dah buat sampai mana?
Saya sampai dekat method 1 tapi start dekat situ sebab dia macam dekat bahagian upload file tu. Sekejap saya tunjuk kat ni.
Okay. Mana? Share. Oh. Dia
ni apa sekali kan
awak tercopy sekali dengan
boleh nampak dengan
Okay.
yang nombor 1.
Awak copy ni dulu, import SYS tu kan. Okay, sampai everything is working, copy dulu.
Start daripada SYS kan?
Depan. Import tu sekali. Import tu sekali. Okay, copy tu. Ctrl C. Okay, lepas tu delete cell ni. Okay, delete cell ni. Okay, tambah klik dekat plus code. Okay, guna Ctrl V. Okay, run. Okay, dah. Okay, nanti sambung start line. Okay, tadi siapa yang ni dah boleh masuk ke?
Dah.
Share screen. Okay, alright. Okay, thank you. Okay, so saya sambung Okay, so next one. Okay, so in regarding data set, okay, so data set which is your raw data, either it is in CSV or you have to record that manually in Python. Okay, the data is actually not 100% clean. Okay, clean means that there's no issue with that, with your data, no missing data, the data type is clear, correctly defined. Okay, no missing data means that all data in the attributes is not missing. Maybe if A is like a qualitative or quantitative variable, okay, all are completely defined or exist. Okay, however, if some data contains error due to missing elements, or maybe the data type defined is not correctly, let's say it is a numerical variable but the data is declared as qualitative variable. Okay, so you have to correct this. Okay, so the process involved is data cleaning. So once the data clean, so you can prepare the data to the next step, right? So that is the purpose. Okay. Now in this section 3.1 okay, so you can copy this data. This one is different data from previous one lah, so you have to run the new things okay. So starting from data, you can just copy here. Alright, paste it, then I will explain what is the meaning. Okay. Alright. Okay. Import pandas ni because you already do that at early step. Okay, at the beginning, so you can skip this part lah. Actually, we have done this import pandas Okay, so copy from this data until the last row here, and then run that. Okay, run the codes or the syntax. Okay, once you run, okay, so actually you got this kinds of output lah. Okay, let me explain what's the meaning Okay, so the data actually have attribute name. So this name is a string so in Python we know this as an object. Okay, so we have Ali, Siti, Raj, but there is the fourth elements whereby there is no name. Okay, so we record that no name is missing lah. No, there's no person name at this part lah. Okay, never mind, you just put here none. Okay, until the last person name. And then we have second attribute for the age 20 and so on, and the last number. Now we want to overview the data frame, check the row and column for your data, and then we want to check the data types. We want to display the first 5 rows and some basic info. Okay, so this is the output that we produce. Okay, for the shape we have 8 rows, 4 columns. The data type for the name is object, means that it is a string containing a string, age as the float. Okay, and then score as integer, gender as the object. Okay, and then we have display using first 5 rows using .head command. Okay, and then we got these kinds of example. Alright, and then we have basic info to show some basic info in your data set containing attributes by the column. Okay, so we have attributes name, age, score, gender. Now basically you're supposed to have 8 elements in each attributes. Okay, but in the name and age, name we got 7 elements, age is also 7 elements. Okay, we know there's some missing elements lah for this attribute, 1 missing element. Okay, so you have to do some adjustations here, so that this name must has 8, age is also must has 8 elements. Okay. Okay, so the way how to check for missing values, okay, let me explain first. The next step is to how we can handle this missing value. Alright, so in this, when we run, the compiler will show NaN. This refer to not a number or none in pandas. Okay, either one lah. Alright, so there are several rules to settle this missing value. Okay, one of them is drop. Okay, drop means that you have to drop that elements. Not only for that, drop only one element means that the whole row should be dropped. Alright, or if something is missing in terms of numbers at the age numerical value, so you need to decide whether you want to replace that missing element by letting the compiler to compute or replace that value using min method or median. Okay, this is what you have learned. Okay, you have learned that. Alright, so the compiler has insert formula for computing the mean and median. So you just need to call that dot mean dot median. That's all. Okay. Now to fill in into the missing element using this one lah, fill and A. Okay, so this one to fill in your missing element just now. But you need to know where is the missing element, which attribute. So we use here attributes. Using attributes name. Alright, that is the explanations lah. Okay. Okay, so remove row with any missing value. So we use it using this one lah. df is now dot sum. Okay, so there is explanations. If you want to replace fill missing value with the mean, okay, so you have to use this h dot fill and a. This one this one is example of your missing attribute. So your missing element is, let's say it is in this h attribute, so put down the attribute name. Okay, then followed by fill and a. Okay, and df h, which means that fill that with this attribute, same attribute lah basically, and dot mean. So you want to fill in the missing element in this h attribute using mean method. Okay, so that is the meaning lah. Okay, right. If you want to replace that missing element using median, so you just put here dot median. Okay, now which one is better? Not big changes lah. Usually if anything's related to score, or maybe the age, you can use mean or median. Not a big issue lah. Alright, as long as it involves numerical value. Okay. And then you can check back if the missing value still exists using df.isNow.sum. So this is to recheck back whether your fill missing elements is correctly performed or not. Alright. Okay, so this is the explanations. So if you want to fill in with this or remove that using drop and a, okay, but if you cannot use this remove based on drop and a if your missing elements are bigger. Okay, usually we see here missing elements that you want to drop is, it should be less than 5%. So you compute lah. Alright, as long as it less than 5%. If let's say you drop that but the percentage is more than 5%, you cannot use this drop method. Alright, okay, so this percentage you can calculate lah from how many elements that you want to drop over total elements in your data set. Alright, so and then we use fill and a mean for numerical data, and median also for numerical data, but if mean there is no extreme outlier, so you have to check whether there is outliers exist or not. Okay. Okay, next is some data set maybe has a redundant elements in terms of the row, means that the row is duplicated. Okay, So if you see any duplicated rows, so you can use remove duplicate rows. Okay, so the codes will be dot duplicated. Alright, so to remove, so we use df dot duplicated, and then if you want to remove the duplicated rows on specific column only, so can use dot drop underscore duplicates, but you need to identify which rows that you want to which columns that you want to drop. Okay, using this one based on the attribute names. Let's say there is a column name whereby the column name is name, attribute name is name, so you can drop that column. Okay, and then you can check back lah whether it has been removed or not. Okay, next is fix data types. Let's say your data type for that attribute is not correctly defined, so you want to change the data types. Alright, maybe from text to the qualitative variable, or maybe from qualitative variable to floats and so on. So you can do this fixing of your data types, right? Okay, let's say we have data types score, age, and gender. So for this score, let's say there is none, so we want to define constants in valid values, so you can use these kinds of codes. Okay, alright, let's say this score, there is some empty, but you want to convert that, okay, to a specific values, maybe integer, so you use these kinds of codes, right? If age and gender is text, you want to convert these text, alright, into a categorical variable. Okay, the text is not categorical. Text categorical variable is qualitative variable, whereby later on you can convert to numerical. Okay, let's say this age, we want to group, let's say those that is having age less than 18 years old, we want to code that group as 0. Those who are 18 years old and above, we want to code that group as 1. Okay, so means that you want to convert this age into categorical variable. Okay, so we use this dot es start integer. Okay, so what is the purpose of converting this to numerical? Basically, that categorical, we want to convert that to 0 and 1. Alright, later on we can work with some kinds of mathematical model or machine learning model because we have methods to we have model to investigate what kinds of property that this data can perform with. Alright, okay, same goes for this gender. You can, let's say gender male or female, you want to convert this into categorical variable, and we want to group that into 0 and 1, so you can use this dot as start. Okay. Okay, so until this 3.4 I want you to do it now. Okay, 3.4. Alright, so for the part that checking for missing values, alright, once you run that, okay, you can see the output shown here. There is two missing values, rows after remove the missing 6. Okay, then we run back to check is there any empty, okay, or missing elements. So now we don't have missing values for all attributes. Alright, okay, to see any duplicated rows, okay, we have removed actually some redundant rows from 8 becomes 7 after removing duplicate, so now we have 7. Okay, checking the data type. Okay, for example, we run this age. Okay, to convert age and gender. You can see the outputs here. This one you can run that. Next, we will proceed to check the outliers. Alright. Okay, let me call names to see recent work. Okay, stop sharing dulu. Let me stop sharing. Okay, Haikal.
Ya, madam.
Okay, don't mind to share your screen.
Ya, sure. Nampak, madam?
Nampak? Okay. Okay, so you are alright, okay. So sampai stage mana?
Sampai dekat kat data set first tu.
Okay, okay. Alright, next is thank you Haikal. Let me see ni.
Sama.
Nur Amirah Nabila.
Ya, madam.
Okay. Recent one sampai dah sampai mana? Amirah? Hmm.
Dah sampai kat sini.
Okay, boleh sambung. Alright, next is Nur Idrina Idris.
Sekejap madam. Sekejap madam, saya tak ada share screen. Sekejap Okay.
Okay, okay. Alright, okay, thank you. Saya sambung Boleh sambung lagi Okay. 2.4. Alright. Okay, so next one is to detect outliers. Okay, how to if you detect there is an outlier, so then you need to handle the outliers. Okay, so outliers is data that is from your out of range. Okay, let's say we have marks. So marks valid value is between 0 to 100. Okay, so any value not in this range, you should know that it represent your outlier. Okay. So in these sections under step 5, okay, detect and handle outliers. This is an example. You can copy this code. Let's say we have range for the score. Valid one is from 0 to 100 lah. Okay, so if any value that is not in this range, so you should remove that part. Okay, so this is the way how to remove that one lah. Okay. And then you can check back lah. Okay, for this method B you can ignore because this is actually required for box quartile box okay, something like that lah, but this is the calculation for that using quartile. Okay, for this part You can skip lah for method bit. Alright. After that, you have to check. You have to check after cleaning whether your data set is correctly prepared or not. Okay, means that you have checked whether the data is in correct data types. You have settled the missing values using proper method. There is no duplications row, and then you can see the description for your data. Alright. Okay, so this is the last step lah. So once you done this, means that your data is ready to go to the next level. Okay, you can proceed with descriptive statistic, like you can evaluate the central tendency, you can evaluate the dispersion of your data, you can proceed with data visualization like your pie chart and so on. So if the cleaning process is not done properly, it might affect to your result of visualization and so on. Okay, alright, so until this step 3.6, then means that you're done. Okay. Alright, so okay, so this is some outputs for the score. They can detect which data. Basically once we run this part, checking the score whether it's valid or not, this stage is related to your data set, which is from step number 1, 3.1 here. Okay, so just now we have what, this data set that we defined kan. So there is a value for the score that is invalid. This one as I highlighted here, -5. This score marks is invalid because it is out of range from 0 to 100. Okay, so the previous step show that how we can detect the outliers. Alright. Okay, so the program can detect this is an outlier. Okay, cannot fill in, this score cannot be filled in using mean or median. Okay, because there is a value. Alright, so if this part is missing, so you can decide to fill in using mean or median. But in this case, this is not empty. Alright, it's not empty. There is a numerical value, but it is invalid value, out of range. So in this case, we have to drop. Okay, drop this row. Okay, drop this row means that you drop the Tom details. Okay, age, score, and gender. So when you drop, basically before this we have 7 rows. So when you drop this, then the data becomes 6 rows. Okay, that is the meaning. Right. Okay, so then you check the descriptions for everything in terms of missing values, duplications row, the data types, view the first 5 rows, and description for the basic statistic lah. Alright, like the means and so on. So you can get these kinds of information once you run that. Okay, now we have no missing values for the students' marks. Alright, the data type is correctly, there's no duplications row. Alright, so we can see the first 5 rows using dot heads, and then basic statistic including your simple calculation for central tendency like your mean, standard deviations, and so on. Okay, so this one is for the quartile lah. Okay, you can just ignore this. Alright, so mean and max means that your lowest value and your largest value from your data. Okay, so this is simple description for your statistic. Alright, any questions so far? Okay, so you should reach at this stage. Alright. Okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, anyone is having problem? Anyone having problem with that? Okay, ada sesiapa masalah? Ada siapa-siapa yang stuck? Ada error?
Madam,
Ah.
I have problem.
Okay, share your screen.
Okay. I have problem with this 2.2 method 2. Why is it not working, madam?
Method 2, just now I mentioned that you use method 1 and method 4. Method 2, method 1, method 1 and 4 only. Method 2, different style lah, but I just provide the guideline. If you want to load your data from Google Drive, that is the things. That is the way, okay? So delete je. Method 2 you delete, method 3 also delete.
Okay. Okay, madam.
Okay. Method 1 is you download that data. Let's say just now you download from the chat part kan, from these teams. I send to you the data. So you download that file. So means that once you download, the file is in your computer. Okay, in your laptop.
I did
Okay.
that.
Yes. Method 4 method 4 is actually you did not download the file. You record that data manually, but you do Python codes lah. So that's different. Okay, that's different. Okay, so for you to try just method 1 is enough lah. Okay, method 2 and 3, let's say you do FYP project ke, so you want to do that. So you can see lah whether the data is where in the you have URL link or what. Maybe from some website lah, you know there is a link for that data. Get the URL link, then you post. So you for that one you use method 3. Method 2, you download the data, you put that in your Google Drive. Okay. So you link your codes to your Google Drive. So you do method 2 lah. Okay. So depends which situation are you in. You are in method 1 situation ke, or method 4 situation, or other method. Okay.
Method 1 lah.
Method 1 or 4 lah. Method 4 tu macam manually to do insert in the Python. Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Alright. Okay. Anyone having problem? No more no more. Okay, so I'll stop recording. Right.